Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are all good. And welcome to Model Kit Beginner, all the way from a steamy Cape Town. Today we have a look at the 63 Corvette from AMT. And the reason I do it is in our hangout, International Scale Modeler Hangout. One chap, very good model builder, bought one of those. And I had to talk about it, and they said the body is very sweet, but the rest of the kit is very rough. I said, oh, I have that in my stash. We need to have a look at that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a look at the AMT 63 Corvette. We're also first going to have a look at the history, which might explain some of the roughness the chaps were talking about. So let's pop down to scale, mates. And we have a look at the 63 Corvette. I'll give you a good rundown of the box once we are on the bench. Right, see you just now. And here we have the 63 Corvette from AMT, having a quick look at the street rod version here from AMT, which is the kit we're going to have a look at. This particular one is from 2018. We're not quite sure what has changed. You'll see the history goes back to 1963. Now that might explain some of the roughness of the kit. Let's just have a look at some of these here. So it obviously it starts with the 63 customizing kit, convertible, right over here. It's a 3-in-1. It even has an engine included. Isn't that fantastic? Then it goes over to the 64 Stingray convertible. So we are done with the split windows, and even this window is very interesting. I didn't even know this existed. Then when we look any further, we can see that AMT Ertl then in 1988 did some repops of the 67s. And then we go back to the 63 Corvette, came out in 2018, and then we have this one, which came out apparently in 2020 with new decals. Doesn't have a lot of decals, but it apparently came out with new decals. But we are obviously not interested in that. We're looking in our AMT 63 Corvette. So the base kit, if you want so, came out in 63. And we need to keep that in mind when we now go down to the bench and have a look at the box and the parts. And here we are, down at the bench with the 63 Corvette Stingray Street Rods Edition, which see has very nice box art. And on the side we have the intention to build it for either street or strip. And on this side we get some more details on the engine. You have either triple carbs, or you have a rat's nest, or all-out drag, so you can do different kinds of engine components. At the back we have the sprues right over here, the decals, the tires, so you can check if everything is in the box as expected. Now what is actually in the box? Well, let's have a look at that. We start, as we usually do, with the instruction sheet. And here it is, old AMT instruction sheet. You can see it's a 2018 repop because the paper is white and not yellow. So these are the different, this is the custom engine, street rod engine, and stock engine. And then you can do even the stock engine with the optional fuel injection, which I believe was still mechanical in 1963. Then we have different tires, tire assembly. We're going to have a look at the tires just now. Chassis and wheels, interior. As you can see, not too much to it. Then we are already putting everything together. Taillights must come in from the back before you put everything together. chrome part final assemblies, the hood or bonnet right over here, chrome pieces in front gives you the different options. I'm going to put different options on there, and that is about it. And here's the color call out if you want to stop and have a read. There you go. Right, this is the instructions. Nothing overcomplicated, I would say. It should be fairly easy to understand. From what I can see, lots of stuff is molded in. So let's go and have a look and see if that is true. We start with this. It comes with a little box, so you can build a little box and collect the little boxes. I always like that. I always find that a nice touch of these mid-60s AMG kits. All right. Then we have a quick look at the decals right over here. There are decals for a custom version, I would assume, because it says here passenger, driver, roof, hood, rear deck. Yeah, it's interesting. The vicious Vec, so you can put them. So I guess that's for the drag racer, probably for the drag racer. Decals for the fenders. No dashboard decals, instrument general decals. A couple of sponsor decals. And if you'd rather build it stock, well, there is a decal for the registration plate, and that's about it. That's all you're gonna get. Right, this is the decals, and as I say, if you're not gonna go for the vicious vet, there basically aren't any. Right, then glass we have over here, and as we always do, we keep it in the plastic. Right over here is one of these famous one-piece glasses, right over here, and then we have some red rear glass. This is fairly thick, but looks all right. Can be worked with. Can be worked with. Then we have tires, 6 of those. Right over here, we also have steel axles. You can see shorter and longer ones, depending if you put these tires on, which I would guess are the drag tires. There are Racemaster tires, so they are branded, or if you choose, you can have them unbranded. Just put them on this way around. Otherwise, you have Racemaster tires. You have 2 of those, and then we have 4 of those, which have a pretty prominent seam in the middle, so that needs to get some attention. Otherwise, they have a bit of a tread to them. Here you go. And they are branded as well. They are Goodyears. What do we know? That's pretty cool. So we have 6 branded tires, different widths, and you can use them. There are some steel axles for the axles. Right, and then let's hop in with the sprues, and we start with this one, and we can get a bit closer to the subject here. Here we go. That's the engine sprue. These are 2 engine halves, oil pan, rocker covers. We have intakes and outtakes. This can possibly be put into the hood if you want to. I'm not sure. Let's have a look here. Cover over here. This should be an air filter, or maybe one of the air filters right over here. And it all has a bit of flash over here, so it needs some good cleaning. Oh. So look at the next one. Here you go. Here we have a hood with a hole in it. Here you go. Some exhaust right over here. There's this part, which I'm not quite sure what this is. Is that the gear? No, can't be the gear lever. No, must be something else. Anyway, then there's a helmet. There's a parachute package right over here, if you want that. And these are tools, possibly part of the wide drag wheels. Here you go. Also here is a little bit of cleanup, quite a bit of cleanup required. We have another hood out over here, look at this. Full of hoods today, though. That's quite cool. So you can really do all kinds of options. We have these exhaust takes for the side. We have those over here if you choose to build it like that. Different engine parts right over here. We see the most interesting part. That is white walls? Not sure. Most interesting part, obviously, the bonnet right over here. Very cool. Very cool. Now, here's a slightly bigger one. We start with the firewall, which is actually nice detailed. I like it. So if you want to pick stuff out, you can do that. More headers, valve covers, rocker covers. Right over here, oil pan. So 4 different engine versions. Here's a different engine as well. Here you go. And another bonnet. Look at that. Yeah, certainly there's no shortage of bonnets, battery. Dual intake air filter right over here, and some other parts there. Pretty cool. Yeah, that is pretty cool. But yeah, as you can see, it is an old press or old forms for sure, and it shows. Yeah, you need to do some cleaning up. But yeah, that's part of the hobby, is it not? Here we are, there's the steering wheel. That needs some tender loving care for sure. There are the plastic seat belts. They need lots of tender loving care. There's the dashboard. And we have seen no decals for that. But there's a stuff which you can pick out, quite a bit of it actually, and it should be just about fine. And then, I forgot about to show you the chrome. There's quite a bit of it. Here it is, and we have wheel nuts right over here, different kind of wheels. Love those. That's very nice. That's very pretty. We have those, of course, which we're all familiar with. We have a chrome oil pan, if you ever want to have that. You have the grill right over here. Different valve covers right over here. Another kind of helmet, this time in chrome. There's a chrome radiator fan. Here you go. If you want this, and different chrome parts which you can adorn your car and engine with. The chrome looks alrightish. Obviously, as it is with most of the old kits, the way the parts have been attached to the chrome, decide yourself if it's worth a touch-up or if you rather dechrome it and chrome it again. Let's have a look at the bumpers quickly. Here we go. Gives you an idea how they are connected to the sprue and what they look like. Right. And then we have the last parts right over here, which is body, interior, and pan. Here's the pan, and as you can see, lots of stuff molded in. We didn't see many suspension parts. That's the reason why. Suspension is molded in. They are molded in exhaust pipes and wheel covers. Here we go. Sure, I'll have something which we can add here to the end. Right, and that's the pan. Then the interior looks like this. See 2 seats. You see that the pedals are molded in right over here. Seats are molded in. Yeah, don't we all love that? But anyway, there they are. There's a center console also molded in, and there is a bit of a structure to the carpet. And there's also a bit of a beautiful ejector pin mark. Let's put that in. Where will it be? Yeah, you will see that right through the window. So that will take some tender loving care to be taken out. So that's the first really big one, which I don't like. Which I mean, what would have taken to have them here on this side? Yeah, Not very good, because you will see that especially this one will be so prominent looking right through the back window. So yeah, that will need your attention. And then we have a look at the body right over here, which obviously is iconic. 63, only year where we had the split window, which you can see right over here. These flags, there was no decal for that either, no decal for the Chevrolet, but it's all 3D, so you can start picking that out if you like to. It needs, yeah, you can see there are seams right over here and here and here and here, and of course there would be this beautiful line right over here, and yeah, it needs some tender loving care here on the chrome frames as well, here at the windows. All a bit rough, you know, all a bit rough, but beautiful. It's a beautiful body, that's for sure. 1963 Chevy Corvette license. Right. And this one was made in 2021. Here we go. And that is what we have to say on the bench about the 63 Corvette from AMT. Certainly not a 2021 Tamiya kit. But hey, if you like the subject as much as I do, you don't care too much, and just give it some tender, loving care. Right, let's get up and mumble about it a little bit more before I say goodbye. And here we are, back upstairs with the 63 Corvette. Here we are. Funny how different the colors look in the light, and if you look at the screenshot. Yeah. Anyway, the 63 Corvette from AMT, we had a look at it. It is certainly a 63 popped kit, you can see that. Lots of things molded in, very rough edges. You certainly need to have some tender loving care to reshape some of those parts. Not quite sure about the fit. The worst thing, which I would say, was where these ejector pin marks on the hood, the hatch shelf at the back, which you will see if you look straight through the back windows. Yeah, that will need some attention and some remodeling to get that away and not looking as bad. So it's an old kit. It's an old AMT kit. AMT kits are not Tamiya kits to start with, and they certainly are not Tamiya kits at all when they come from the year 1963. This one shows. However, for 63 it has quite a bit of detail, lots of options, 6 tires, 3 different engines, bonnets or hoods to choose from. I mean, yeah, the spare box will be full of stuff, and you can then build whatever you like. So if you don't mind cleaning parts, reshaping parts, and see it as a challenge to get rid of stupid ejector pin marks which shouldn't be at that particular spot, you will have lots of fun with this. I certainly will know I will have lots of fun with this. I take it as a challenge, and I will certainly build it probably sooner than later. Well, thanks very much for popping in. Hope you all did enjoy this. I'm glad I can put the aircon back on because it's really getting hot in here. And I wish you all the best and greetings from Cape Town. Cheers.